All right, so today we're going deep into the swamps of Cuba
Oh, wow.
to explore a sanctuary that's basically a Noah's Ark
Uh-huh.
for one of the world's most endangered crocodile species,
I'm intrigued.
the Cuban crocodile.
And how are we getting this inside look?
Well, we've got this fantastic YouTube documentary to thank for that by
Okay.
S.I. Lacey. It takes us,
Siice.
yeah, right into the heart of it.
Nice.
It's called the Creadero, and it's been around for over 50 years,
Wow.
dedicated to protecting the Cuban crocodile.
Yeah.
But here's the thing.
What's that?
This isn't some small operation. This place is home to a staggering
Okay.
4,500 crocodiles.
4,500.
That's a lot.
It's a massive undertaking. I mean, how do they even manage a population that big?
Well, what's fascinating is they've developed these really effective strategies.
Like what?
Well, they've got this meticulously designed breeding program
Mm-hmm.
that not only ensures the survival of the species,
Right.
but also actively increases the genetic diversity
Yeah.
within the captive population. That's super important, right?
Absolutely.
Especially when you think about all the challenges these crocodiles are up against
Yes.
in the wild. Like, I know habitat loss is a major threat,
Yeah.
but
yeah.
what other factors are contributing to their decline?
Well, invasive species are another huge problem.
Okay.
You know, they compete with the Cuban crocodiles for resources.
Yeah.
They can even prey on the younger crocs.
Wow.
So the sanctuary's breeding program is like a safety net against those threats.
I see.
It makes sure there's a healthy gene pool for future reintroduction programs.
Okay, so it's kind of like a backup plan for the species.
Exactly.
Yeah. And speaking of the people on the ground, the
Yeah.
documentary introduces us to
Yeah.
some amazing individuals,
Okay.
like Itiam, the director. He's been running the show for the past 7 years.
7 years.
Yeah. And then there's Efren, the seasoned veteran,
Okay.
seems to know these crocodiles like the back of his hand.
They seem to have some serious expertise.
They do. And it's crucial, especially when it comes to differentiating between the Cuban and American crocodiles.
Mhm. Right, because preventing hybridization is a top priority
Yeah.
to maintain the genetic integrity of the Cuban crocodile.
Absolutely.
But it can be tricky
Yeah.
to tell them apart.
I remember that from the documentary. They showed this new biologist, Eduardo,
Uh-huh.
getting a crash course in crocodile identification.
Oh, wow.
And it seemed pretty intense. So how do you tell them apart?
Cuban crocodiles have this very distinctive diamond shape between their eyes and their nose,
Okay.
which American crocodiles don't have.
Oh, I see.
American crocodiles also tend to be darker,
Hmm.
grayer overall.
Interesting.
So it's these subtle visual cues that the staff have to learn
Yeah.
to spot quickly and accurately.
So they're basically walking, talking field guides.
Pretty much.
But all this talk about identifying crocodiles makes me think
Yeah.
about their daily lives at the sanctuary. What's it actually like
It's amazing.
caring for thousands of these powerful predators?
Well, just imagine the logistics of feeding over 4,500 crocodiles.
I can't even imagine.
The documentary mentioned they go through 100 tons of meat every week.
Wait, 100 tons.
100 tons!
That's mind-boggling. How do they even begin to source that much food?
Right.
Especially in a country like Cuba where resources can be so limited.
It's incredible. It's a real testament to their resourcefulness and dedication.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
they have to navigate this complex web of suppliers and logistics
Wow.
to ensure a steady supply of food.
Yeah. For these hungry reptiles.
Exactly.
The documentary actually highlighted a family,
Oh, yeah.
the Alonco brothers,
Right.
who have devoted their lives to the sanctuary.
They have.
It's incredible to see that level of commitment passed down through generations.
It is. Efren Bernardino and Enrique Alonso are practically synonymous with the creadero.
Wow.
Their passion and knowledge are invaluable to the sanctuary's success.
It's inspiring to see how much they care for these animals.
It really is.
But it also makes me wonder, with all the effort going into caring for them in captivity, can this sanctuary truly save the Cuban crocodile from extinction?
That's the question, isn't it?
I mean, what happens if their natural habitats continue to disappear?
Well, the sanctuary definitely plays a vital role in preserving the species.
Yeah.
But the long-term survival of the Cuban crocodile really hinges on the success of reintroduction programs.
And that brings its own set of challenges, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Releasing captive crocodiles back into the wild isn't as simple as just opening the gates.
No, you're right about that. First, you need to make sure that suitable habitats even exist.
Okay.
Then there's the whole issue of preparing the crocodiles for life in the wild.
Yeah.
They need to be able to hunt avoid predators, navigate their natural environment,
Right.
and even then, there's no guarantee of success.
So it sounds like the sanctuary is walking this tightrope, balancing the immediate needs of the captive population with this long-term goal of reintroduction.
You've got it. It's a delicate balance. But the work they're doing at the creadero
Yeah.
offers a glimmer of hope for the future of the Cuban crocodile. Okay.
By maintaining this healthy captive population and contributing to research and conservation efforts, they're giving this species a fighting chance.
It's a powerful reminder that even in the face of these daunting odds,
Yes,
dedicated individuals can make a real difference.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But let's be realistic. Running a sanctuary like this must come with its own unique set of challenges,
Oh, for sure.
beyond just the scientific and logistical hurdles.
Right. We've talked about the limited resources in Cuba,
Yeah,
but there are also potential threats like disease outbreaks,
absolutely.
which could devastate the captive population.
Right.
And then there's the financial challenges of maintaining a facility of this size and scope.
Of course. Not to mention the ever-present threat of habitat loss.
Right.
And the potential impact of climate change on wild populations.
Exactly. These are issues that can't be ignored, even within the relative safety of the sanctuary.
You're absolutely right. The sanctuary can't exist in a bubble.
The fate of the Cuban crocodile is ultimately tied to the health of the entire ecosystem.
Yeah.
And that requires a multifaceted approach
Oh.
involving not just the sanctuary, but also government agencies, conservation organizations, local communities.
It really highlights how interconnected it all is.
It does.
But with all these challenges,
Yeah.
why should we, sitting here far away from Cuba,
Yeah.
even care about a crocodile sanctuary on a distant island?
That's a great question.
What does this have to do with us?
You know, it gets to the heart of why this story is so compelling.
Okay.
The Cuban Crocodile Sanctuary, while focused on a specific species in a specific location,
Yeah.
represents a microcosm of the larger conservation challenges we face globally.
So it's not just about crocodiles.
No, it's not.
It's about recognizing our collective responsibility to protect biodiversity,
Well, exactly.
no matter where it exists.
Exactly. This deep dive into the Cuban Crocodile Sanctuary provides a glimpse into the dedication, the passion, the resourcefulness required to protect endangered species worldwide.
Wow.
It showcases the complexities of conservation
Yeah.
and the interconnectedness of ecosystems.
Right.
And most importantly, it reminds us that every species,
Right.
no matter how seemingly insignificant,
Yeah.
plays a vital role in the delicate balance of our planet.
It really makes you appreciate the dedication of people like Itiam and the Alonso brothers,
It does.
who are on the front lines of this conservation battle.
They are.
They're not just caring for these crocodiles.
Right.
They're fighting for the survival of an entire species.
Absolutely. And their story highlights something crucial.
What's that?
Conservation isn't just about science and logistics.
Okay.
It's about people.
Uh-huh.
It's about the passion, the commitment,
Yeah.
the unwavering belief in the importance of protecting our planet's biodiversity.
Absolutely. And that brings us to the question we want to leave you with today.
Okay.
What other challenges,
Yeah.
beyond what we've already touched on,
Yeah.
might a sanctuary like this
Yeah.
face? What are the things we don't often see?
Like what?
Like navigating the political landscape of a country like Cuba,
Oh, right.
or securing consistent funding.
Those are critical factors. Political changes could impact regulations, resource allocation,
Yeah.
even the sanctuary's ability to operate.
Right.
And consistent funding is always a concern for conservation efforts,
Of course.
especially in a place like Cuba, which faces its own economic challenges.
It really paints a picture of this constant tightrope walk these sanctuaries have to navigate.
It does.
But despite all these obstacles, the fact that they persevere,
Yeah.
that they continue to fight for these crocodiles, is incredibly inspiring.
It's a testament to the power of human resilience and the unwavering belief in the importance of their mission.
Yeah.
And it speaks to a larger truth,
What's that?
that conservation is not a passive endeavor.
Okay.
It requires active engagement, creative problem solving,
Yeah.
and a deep understanding of the interconnectedness of all living things.
This deep dive has given us such a unique perspective on the world of conservation. We've seen the challenges, the triumphs, and the incredible dedication of the people working to protect these amazing creatures.
Absolutely. And it's a reminder that each of us has a role to play.
What do you mean?
Whether it's supporting organizations like the Creadero,
Okay.
reducing our own environmental footprint,
Mm-hmm.
or simply spreading awareness about the importance of conservation. Every effort counts.
So if anything from this deep dive sparked your interest,
Yeah.
we encourage you to learn more about Cuban crocodiles,
Okay.
the incredible conservation efforts happening around the world,
Right.
and how you can get involved.
Because ultimately the future of these animals,
Yeah.
and indeed all species on this planet,
Right.
rests in our hands.
It's a responsibility we can't afford to ignore.
Well said. And until next time, keep exploring, keep learning,
Yeah.
and keep diving deep.
Absolutely.
Well, just imagine the logistics of feeding over 4,500 crocodiles.
Oh my gosh.
The documentary mentioned they go through 100 tons of meat.
100 tons.
Every week.
That's unbelievable. How do they even...
That's a lot of meat.
Yeah, how do they even source that much food? Especially in a country like Cuba.
Yeah.
I mean, where resources are already limited.
Well, it really is a testament to their
Yeah.
resourcefulness and their dedication.
Yeah.
I mean, they have to navigate this complex web of
Right.
suppliers and logistics
I can imagine.
just to ensure a steady supply of food
You said it.
for all those hungry reptiles.
And the documentary highlighted the Alonso brothers,
Yes,
who have devoted their lives to the sanctuary.
they have.
It's pretty incredible
It is.
to see that level of commitment like that
Yeah.
passed down through generations.
I mean, Efren Bernardino and Enrique Alonso are
Wow.
practically synonymous with the creadero.
Yeah.
I mean, their passion and their knowledge are just invaluable.
It's inspiring to see how much they care for these animals,
It is.
but it also makes me wonder, with all the effort going into caring for these crocodiles in captivity, can this sanctuary truly save the Cuban crocodile from extinction?
That's the big question, isn't it?
What happens if their natural habitats just continue to disappear?
Well, I mean, the sanctuary plays a vital role in preserving the species.
Right.
But the long-term survival of the Cuban crocodile really hinges on
Okay.
how successful these reintroduction programs are.
Which brings a whole other set of challenges, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, releasing captive crocodiles back into the wild isn't as simple as just opening the gates and saying, go free.
No, it's not. You're right about that. First, you need to make sure there are suitable habitats.
Right.
Then there's the whole issue of preparing the crocodiles for life in the wild.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
You know, they need to be able to hunt, avoid predators, navigate their natural environment.
Yeah.
And even then,
Right.
there's just no guarantee of success.
So it sounds like the sanctuary is walking this tightrope,
Right.
balancing the immediate needs
Exactly.
of this captive population with this long-term goal of reintroduction.
You got it. It is a delicate balance. Yeah. But the work they're doing at the creadero, it offers a glimmer of hope for the future of the Cuban crocodile.
Okay.
By maintaining this healthy captive population, contributing to research and conservation efforts,
Okay.
they're giving the species a fighting chance.
It's a powerful reminder that even in the face of these
It is.
daunting odds, dedicated individuals can make a real difference.
They can. But let's be realistic. Running a sanctuary like this has got to come with its own unique set of challenges.
Of course.
Beyond just the scientific and logistical hurdles.
We talked about the limited resources in Cuba,
Right.
but there are also potential threats like disease outbreaks.
Absolutely. Which could be devastating to the captive population.
Yeah. And then there's the financial challenges of maintaining a facility
Of course.
of this size and scope.
Not to mention the ever-present threat of habitat loss.
Right. And climate change.
Exactly.
Impacting the wild populations. These are all issues that can't be ignored.
They can't, even within the relative safety of the sanctuary.
So it's not a perfect solution.
It's not. The sanctuary can't exist in a bubble.
Yeah.
The fate of the Cuban crocodile is ultimately tied to the health of that entire ecosystem.
It really shows
As
how
it's
interconnected it all is.
And that requires a multifaceted approach.
Okay.
It involves not just the sanctuary, but government agencies, conservation organizations, local communities.
With all of these challenges, why should we sitting here so far away from Cuba even care about a crocodile sanctuary?
That's a great question.
On a distant island. What does this have to do with us?
You know, that gets at the heart of why this story is so compelling.
Okay.
The Cuban Crocodile Sanctuary, while focused on a specific species in a very specific location, represents a microcosm of these larger conservation challenges that we face globally.
So it's not just about the crocodiles.
No, it's not. It's about recognizing our collective responsibility to protect biodiversity no matter where it exists.
This deep dive into the Cuban Crocodile Sanctuary has given us such a glimpse into the dedication,
the passion, the resourcefulness that is